welcome back to the conversation that never ends. This is Timeless Talk. I'm your host, AJ, and this is episode 4. Let's do this. Yeah. And as you guys can see, it's pretty obvious here we're missing somebody today. So before we continue with the introductions as normal, I'm going to go ahead and put a PSA out for our missing co-host slideshow. As you see on your screen now, we have put on multiple milk cartons everywhere, looking for our dearest friend. We don't know where he is.
Gone, but not forgotten.
So if you guys have seen him, no, he's okay. I promise, he's all right. He just missed the episode because he's got some things going on. But
this is the first episode he's ever missed.
Yeah, I think it's notable to say that. Let everybody know that this is his very first. Since we started the show last April, first missed episode of Timeless Talk. So, you know what, man? Just a quick little hand clap for Slideshow, always being punctual and always being here. And this is his first real absence from the show. So, we'll see you, sir. Yeah, hope we come back fast and soon, sir. Most likely he might miss another week. We're not sure yet. It's in the air, but he'll be back soon. But in the meantime, over here to my left, we have Mr. Furious. Thank you for being with us today, man.
Thanks for having me back.
I gave him really short notice, too. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you being able to bang this out with us today, man. It means a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, bro. Thank you.
You hold the record, too, for every time you're here, longest episodes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, bro. You have literally garnered all of our longest episodes, man.
2+ hour every
Facts.
episode. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, man. I know he looks tired. I don't know what he had going on today, but our boy is here. Everybody's cheering for you. You're like, yeah. That's good. It's all good, bro. And over here to my right, we have B Money.
Okay, gotta get used to being on this side now.
I know, right? And that's another thing I wanted to bring to attention too, guys. We're not putting B Money over there because we're replacing Slideshow. That's not the case. We're just, he's obviously
trying it out.
You want to try it out. You want to try out Slideshow's chair and see how it felt.
See what the big deal is.
See what the big deal is. Sitting to the right is he's closer to the. I will say this. He's closer to the water cooler now.
I can't. Yeah, I can.
He can actually just something Slideshow doesn't really do often. Look at that. You can hear it.
Refilled.
All right, guys. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into today's topics.
Yes.
Before we get to the current event, which is the one I chose this week, we're going to do that last. We'll say that for last. But go ahead, B Money. What do we got today on today's slates of topics?
So recent studies by real scientists have discovered that microdosing might be the cure and the overall new pathway for bettering your life. Now, the catch is the microdosing substance are all bad things. So, for instance,
I wonder why that is.
Alcohol, nicotine, and psilocybin are all now being shown, once they're microdosed on a daily basis, have shown significant just overall health benefits. Right? So, alcohol, when microdosed, and they're seeing at least maybe 1 ounce every day of hard alcohol, reduces heart disease, stroke, and diabetes.
Wow.
And again, alcohol is a it's a negative thing, right?
It's always considered negative.
DUIs, domestic violence, etc. Right? All right. Nicotine, also a bad thing, has shown when microdosed through gum or patches, is a mood booster. So it releases all the happy hormones we want, lowers your anxiety, boosts testosterone. So gentlemen, if you're going to the gym and you want a better pump, nicotine is the key.
Wow.
And also, because it's a neuron attacher, right, to help you get the addiction to the cigarettes, it also has been shown to stop Alzheimer's and or the side effects of having Alzheimer's. So it's actually shown to benefit that quite a bit. Wow. And increase your memory. And then psilocybin, the magic mushroom, when microdosed, of course, it releases all the happy hormones, regulates your sleep, gets your circadian rhythm back on track.
Circadian rhythm?
Yeah, circadian rhythm.
What's that?
So when you get a good sleep routine, your hormones, your cycle of how you sleep. And it also has been shown to fight depression quite a bit.
Oh, Wow.
So, again, all bad things. And then the last one here, number 4, it's not a bad thing. Viagra, when shown to be microdose, not for ED, erectile dysfunction, but when microdose has been shown to have increased benefits in the gym. So better muscle tone, energy, again, cements better overall brain health too.
Is this all supported by factual research?
Yeah, 100%. But they're worried about really, glorifying like nicotine, alcohol, mushrooms.
People are going to overdo it.
Wow.
But again, microdose.
Is that what makes them bad though? Is that people don't know how to microdose and they just overindulge?
Well, I think just hearing some people might run with this like, oh, did you hear? Alcohol's good for you. No. A little bit's good for you.
Yeah, never too much of that, obviously, clearly.
But
no, that doesn't mean go buy a 40-ounce, viewers and listeners. And
it's got to be a
but
hard
time
alcohol.
is talk. Time is talk. Okay, there you go.
Hard alcohol.
So basically, B-Money's clarifying that doesn't mean go get a fifth of Hennessy or Wild Turkey or whatever your choice of drink is. Don't go get it and fucking down it in one sitting. I mean, you can do that if you want to get really fucked up, but
do some further
don't say
research.
That. Yeah, do some field work. Don't say that Timeless Talk sent you to do it. Okay, that's all we're saying here.
And nicotine's still a carcinogen too, so the cancer scares are still there.
Very real, very real. It's very still possible to affect your living situation.
But it would be a fun 1 month experiment.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Kind of like what what's his name did with the Super Size Me McDonald's. What was that guy's name?
I don't know his name, but
Supersized guy.
Fuck, dude.
He almost died though.
Yeah, he almost died. He fucked himself up doing that shit.
I will say though, his before and after wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible.
Terrible. His labs are bad, but again, yeah, you're eating only fast food. But his before and after wasn't,
yeah, as bad as you might have.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was waiting for him to be like 400 pounds.
Me too. I thought he was gonna triple in weight, dude.
Yeah,
but
because
it's so easy to gain weight.
But he walked too, right? 3 times a day, and he walked.
I think so.
McDonald's,
and that kind of helped him. He walked everywhere. He lived in New York, so he wasn't driving everywhere. That's true.
And he only supersized it when they offered it.
Exactly. Yeah. What are your thoughts over there? You like a fly on the wall, man? Just
What about the Supersize Me?
Yeah, that, and then also the microdosing.
Well, the Supersize Me thing, that one was that one right there taught me like you can't just assume that because the food looks like a certain portion that it's not gonna pack a punch. You know what I mean? Like you have to treat fast food like it's a indulgence. You know what I mean? Like not a meal plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't eat there every day, every single meal like that. I mean, it was a good experiment.
Yeah, even though he's getting different, dishes and it doesn't matter, bro. You're still eating garbage.
Yeah.
3 times a day.
Well, have you seen that one guy? I think to this day he still eats a Big Mac, 2 Big Macs every day since.
Yeah, and he wears a shirt. I think he's like King of the Big Mac or he's Mr. Big Mac or some shit. He was on. He came on the.
He's skinny.
Fuck yeah, I know. How do you explain that one?
Yeah, I think he's
caloric deficit.
Caloric
deficit, or like I think whatever calories a Big Mac has. I mean, if he's only having 2, if that's all he's eating.
No. So he'll have breakfast, Big Mac lunch, dinner, and then a Big Mac also again. So he'll have 2 Big Macs every day, and he'll eat normal.
Does he exercise?
No.
He's just an outlier then.
What's that?
Something it happens
like a freak accident.
Yeah,
it's like someone who smokes cigarettes all their life, never gets lung cancer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. They're just like random freak accidents that just don't make sense, right?
Right.
I mean,
that's like the worst X-Men power.
It really is. Like,
I can't get fat.
I can't get fat, but I can be a fat fuck.
Xavier, can I join? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's like, what are we gonna do with you, bro?
I can eat a whole pizza and I'll be fine.
It's like, okay, how can we use that? I don't understand. Like, you can't carb overdose. What am I gonna do with that? I don't give a fuck. Like, man,
all the pasta, and I'm gonna get tired. Like, what?
Imagine that I can still go out and do a 3-mile run. That's okay. All right. Anyway, yeah, man. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. I mean, I always wondered what category those people would be in too, because they do exist, and it doesn't make sense. Someone that's perfectly healthy,
well, those are the
gets cancer in areas that they never really
just latches on
touched.
To. Like, oh, see, they're fine. Like, no, that's the one-on-one.
And people do latch on it, yeah. And it's like, well, bro, they're the fucking freak. You know who told me that too? And I think he was trying to justify himself. This individual that I know told me
from the bus stop
on the road in LA somewhere. I was waiting for bus travel, to come get me. But anyway, this individual was telling me, he's like, yeah, man, he's like, I no longer give a crap whether, I work out hard or not, because there's people that are perfectly healthy, running, doing jogs every day, eating the best food, and then they get an aneurysm and they die for no reason. Or they were perfectly, pristinely healthy. I knew someone, and he's like, they claimed that they knew somebody in particular that was completely healthy, lived nothing but a healthy lifestyle, ate all the healthiest shit, still dropped dead. For reasons doctors can't explain. So since that's the truth, I'm gonna live however the fuck I want to.
But that's the
that was his response
that latches onto the outlier. So there's positive.
That's why I brought him up. Yeah, he's kind of going on what you said. Hang on to the outlier.
Isn't that called what's it called? Like cognitive bias or something like that, or some shit?
Yeah.
No, confirmation bias. That's what it's called. It's like where you
here's the facts.
Right. Like something that they
I heard a long time ago that it's not true. Like one time, but this is papers of facts.
Yeah, exactly.
And a brain aneurysm, though, that's anyone and their mother can get that. That's not having to do with your health. So you can't base he ran a 5K and he got it, so it doesn't matter. No.
Or he ate spinach every day, so I don't understand how. Yeah, so that doesn't guarantee you safety, right? It doesn't guarantee you're not going to have any problems with your life, or a blood vessel will pop one day in your brain. Like shit could happen, bro. It's unexplainable. Really, you sneeze too hard, you could die.
Yeah,
that's a real thing. Mm-hmm. I know you said that before in the past episode.
Crazy shit, yeah.
That's crazy. You dislodge something and just fall to the chair dead? That's it?
You can stub your toe too hard, get a blood clot, travels to your lungs, goes and detaches. You can die.
Damn.
You could die from the stupidest thing.
That is true.
So to just base your whole life of
that took you out, bro? Turf toe? Have you ever heard that shit, turf toe in football? You ever heard that term? So there's an actual injury in the NFL, bro, and it is classified as turf toe.
Is it stub toe?
Yes, bro. Like, I was like, what the fuck is that? I was suffering from a little bit more of a mild case of turf toe. What the fuck is that, bro? You sound like a bitch.
It sounds better than stub toe, though. I get it.
I'm sorry, bro. If I was in the media, right? And hey, man, so how are you doing today? You still suffering from that turf toe? I'll be racking them, bro. I'm sorry. If I was, those the press after the games.
You ever stub your toe real hard though?
So did you get carried off the field because of turf toe, bro? How's your toe treating you, man?
I've had middle of the night bathroom walks where you just
see, but that even sounds like a diss.
I felt like I was shot. I stubbed my toe so hard.
Oh, like on the corner?
Oh, yeah.
That shit hurts.
Like a bed frame I've had for years that I know how to navigate, and you just kick the shit out of it.
Bro, and when you do it, you hit it hard. You're like, oh, fuck, I really kicked that shit hard, bro.
Yeah, makes quite a sound, too.
And you know it's bad, and you hurt yourself pretty good when you feel it the next day still. You're like, fuck, that shit's still bothering me, bro.
That's the one time I'm an asshole, though. Like, I'll stub my toe, I'm like, are you okay? I'm just looking at my wife like, God damn it.
Yeah, I'm an asshole too.
Ask me in like 10 minutes. I can't. I'm going to give you such a shitty answer right now.
We love those people, but we hate them at the same time. Like, don't ask me if I'm okay.
Right.
You know damn well I'm not fucking okay right now. You know I'm hurting right now.
You're going to ask me if I'm okay. I'm a grown man on the fetal position on the ground, like just going, oh, you okay? What the fuck do you think?
Right.
It's true. Like, come on now. So, with the microdosing, you said it was backed up by facts. Science, is there now on both sides of this?
Yes,
scientific. Right? You said what science?
Yeah, scientific research.
Okay. Now, do you both gentlemen? I'm asking both of you guys. And feel free to answer first. Whoever wants to go first. But
okay.
Do you guys think that there's a big enough? Because nowadays in our year 2023, and towards the end of last year, I think it's become a trend since after the pandemic. Would you guys agree that if you don't have enough people championing an issue, or does that sound right? Is that even a word, championing? You know what I mean? Like, championing a cause or whatever the case is, if there's not enough people behind it, then it'll get canceled. Or if it somehow doesn't look good in the public eye, it gets canceled.
Canceled, just lose its forgotten momentum.
Yeah, there's no traction for it once. Okay, but this has a lot of popularity. Just by everything on that list by itself is very popular.
I know definitely shrooms for sure.
Yeah,
like that one's definitely popular.
Because I'm Captain Boy Scout.
It is. No, I agree. It definitely is popular. So. That's the thing. So you're catching Boy Scouts?
I'm Captain Boy Scout, but like on this list, alcohol, I do that. I like alcohol. I support alcohol. So if now you're going to tell me it has health benefits, ching, more reason for me to buy alcohol.
Yeah.
I don't like smoking, but just the nicotine, if I can find a way to, I guess the gum, I'll be for that one. And then psilocybin, I was always against it because of the DARE program, but then as you grow up and get older and you start reading books and doing your own research.
Yeah.
It's actually phenomenal. Amazing benefits just in the mental health arena alone. Amazing benefits.
No, that's
the shrooms.
Oh yeah.
no, that's very true. I agree.
For just brain impairments, PTSD, soldiers, like
Depression.
Oh yeah. Depression's a huge one.
It is massive, and I just feel like a lot of the people now, man, it's like cancel culture and everything. Like there's more, and I'm gonna get into that. Actually, that's part of my topic. I actually have a topic I'm gonna get into next after yours. I'll save that. Do you gentlemen feel that with enough people behind this, this thing that you're talking about,
Yeah.
could this actually be something that you can see being promoted as a health?
Look at the
Massively. But then do you think cancel culture is going to come back and backfire? Like, why are you teaching our kids this, that it's okay to do that when it's really not? And even I think they're going to bypass the whole micro part of it. They're going to be like, well, people are going to do what they're going to do to overindulge,
If you stick to the whole thing, like microdosing for these benefits, not to get drunk, not to fucking smoke a pack of cigarettes a day just for the nicotine. If you can stick with that, it'll get enough traction, I think.
Do you think people are still going to try to cancel it, though, even when that does start to catch fire?
There's people always for it. I mean, look at the COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
That was
There's always going to be
huge.
opposition.
100%.
Yeah, I just feel like now, okay, what about you? Do you agree with that, or do you have anything you want to change that? Before I move on, I'm over here getting ahead of myself. I'm like, Furious ain't sitting to my left.
Do I
do
I agree that it'll get canceled? That it'll try to get canceled or something like that?
Yeah, dude. Like the same question to you. Yeah, do you believe that with enough fire or enough people, enough support behind microdosing, you're still going to be enough opposition to try to cancel it? Like, well, no, that's wrong. Cause
I think that the support would have to come from people who are actually like part of the governing infrastructure. They'd have to support it.
Yeah.
From within, because they're the ones that ultimately pass it in the end. So it's like the people can be behind it, but let's say like cocaine, right? That one, I don't think that'll ever be legalized. You know what I mean?
Cocaine, heroin, and meth
Yeah.
just got legalized in Canada.
What?
Never mind.
Yeah. he's like, fuck. I stand corrected.
But hold on.
Damn.
It's not legalized for sale though. It's legalized for use.
Yeah, you can get caught using it.
Oh, okay. You're talking about for sale. Okay.
But like for it to go mainstream to where it's like, okay, guys, you guys can buy this much.
I think that window is open because of marijuana. Marijuana was sometimes a life sentence if you get caught with it.
Item 9.
Now,
yeah. Item 9. Yeah.
Illegal.
Now you can go to any green store, pick it up. My eyes hurt, and then I get a prescription from a doctor, and then
Yeah. That's that. Oh, glaucoma, right? I think I have it coming in now.
but that's
Doc, I think I need some now.
I think it's around the
I think
corner.
I need some now. Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So then, okay. So do you agree?
Look at LSD. LSD is getting trials again to come back, and that's becoming popular again.
I think it's gonna be good. Just because like the like acid and like shrooms and like those type of like psychoactive things. Like, not saying that they can be addictive, but their effects are so like profound that people don't use it for what I'm saying, to get lit or to get wasted. They use it to have like a positive experience. You know what I mean? To open
They're not any bad vibes when they're doing it. Yeah. They want a good consciousness kind of
Like, that's the goal. It's not to like get like fucked up like with coke or with like hair. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
I mean, even medically prescribed stuff, people can abuse it, and for the good reason.
That's true too.
So there's always going to be the people that fuck it up for everybody else, and then there's people that want to do something good with their lives, and this is the key. Like, you're clinically depressed, we're going to microdose you for 3 months on mushrooms, and we're going to hopefully see some good results. But I think in the recent trial for shrooms on depression, I think 75% of the people were not only better but cured of their depression.
I think that shrooms. I think that like I don't think that the microdosing should be such a mandatory thing. I think like people like they should gauge like the person.
Oh yeah,
individually. You know what I'm saying? Because microdosing, you can't really feel it. Like it's you know what I'm saying? It's like it's not really you don't really feel the effects.
That makes sense.
But the overall health effects is what we're trying to get.
Right.
So even like one shot of alcohol, I'm not going to feel anything, but combating diabetes in my future and heart disease, like
having those benefits to make it worth it. I agree.
It's like taking a vitamin. Do you feel the benefits of the vitamin right away, or is it a long term?
That's true.
Take it just for men's and then.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is just that the mechanism of like a psychedelic, it's like alcohol is pretty easy to like overindulge on that.
100%.
Like really easy. and like coke, all that stuff, meth, it's really easy to just like go too far.
Oh yeah, we've seen it in our careers.
Yeah. Well, like let's say something that's like, let's say like salvia or something like that, or like the experience is like you won't even be focused on getting high. You know what I mean? It's the experience. It's like, damn, like what, you know what I'm saying? Like you're self-reflecting. You know what I'm saying? You're questioning things. You know what I'm saying? It's a deeper like experience. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean. That's crazy. To kind of to monitor someone, right? To kind of learn, see how they react to something, or like you said. Right. But when you're doing it, when the person's experiencing, like you said, it's probably going to be used for different uses. They're going into it with, I want to go on a trip. I want to see how this is going to make me.
Because I can see how it can fix like someone's depression. You know, like let's say like salvia, like for instance. You know, a lot of people when they take it, they report like being stuck somewhere for forever. You know what I mean? Or it feels like forever, right? And while they're in these, you know, like situations within their consciousness, like they're going over a lot of things about themselves, you know, like why am I here? Like, what did I do? You know what I'm saying? Like they're questioning, they're asking themselves real questions. You know what I'm saying? Of course, while being amazed and all that stuff too.
It's like a deep dive in therapy that you do yourself,
exactly,
too, which is intense.
And the stuff that you see a lot of times is a manifestation of your subconscious too. You know, so it might prompt you to really try to work on the root of the issue that's causing that, you know what I mean? Because especially if it's unpleasant and it's like, damn, like why is it like that? You know what I mean? Because the feeling while you're in these trips is very visceral. You know what I mean? Like you feel that shit. Like it's like you're actually like you're there.
It's real to you. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Even for neural impairments too. They've had microdosing on psilocybin cured stuttering.
Wow.
Chronic stuttering.
I can see that. So I think why it probably worked on the stuttering is when you take psilocybin, you know, at a certain dosage, like sometimes it feels like you're firing like all cylinders. You know what I mean? Like the way, like I mean, you're not zooted, you're not like confused or anything like that. It's just like the way that it aligns.
It's a different level.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I can see like how that could do that. You know,
that makes sense. Yeah, cause crazy. Because with that, I think, man, my opinion too is that some people might be too scared to try it though.
Right.
Even though those benefits that you guys are talking about, people think might be too fearful to even.
Well, that's why it would be good to have like doctors and do a clinical.
True.
Like you go into a actual.
I feel a lot more comfortable that way.
Yeah, outpatient treatment. You know, hey, I'm Dr. So and So. We're going to be doing this many milligrams. I'm going to be monitoring you. Had that sense of security. Oh yeah,
like that makes sense.
Some guy in the back alley, like try one mushroom. Like okay. I don't feel anything, but there's shit chasing me right, and the floor's lava.
And the floor's lava. Okay, he's having a good. At least it's making you feel better, though, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, clinical trials. I think that'd be very beneficial.
Make the most sense
because they're doing that and LSD right now for a lot of PTSD and they're having amazing results from it.
They got to do DMT too. You know what I'm saying?
I think they're working on that one.
That's the one that's like really elusive,
which is crazy because it's just THC digested.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
DMT?
So smoking weed, you're absorbing the THC into your bloodstream. That's where you're getting high. But if you eat the marijuana, it turns into DMT.
Really?
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Are we talking about the same one? I think I know which one you were talking about.
Yeah.
But are you sure it's really what DMT is?
Mm-hmm. Digested THC.
You ever heard of
tryptamine? Is that that's what it is?
Okay, so then it is that. You know where DMT also comes from, right? Supposedly the pineal gland releases it at the time of death. You never heard of that?
That's why you see the white light.
And it's supposedly it floods your body with it. You heard about that, right? Yeah. Supposedly DMT is naturally. That's why I'm tripping out. I was like, I'm not. I know you're very smart when it comes to stuff like this. So I'm wondering, like, have you heard of that version? Because supposedly, right, it floods your body. Your brain releases it, and it floods your body with it at the moment of death. Mm-hmm. So then their whole argument is that's what you're experiencing when you think you're going to the white light.
That's why a lot of people are like, oh, I saw angels. Like, well, maybe you saw something that you think that your
that's what everybody's saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear about the preacher that died?
So the same stuff as that then? What?
There's been a few of those stories.
Well, hold on, before you say it though, is that the same stuff? Is that the same stuff you're talking about? The eating marijuana? Is it the same?
DMT.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry. So it is the same. All right,
so this is recent. A preacher, pastor. He passed away. Or he didn't pass away, sorry.
Christian pastor?
Yeah, he was clinically dead for like 7 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Heart attack, I believe. And he, was revived. And he said he went to hell. And there he watched demons make men and women crawl on all fours, being tortured. and in the background was Rihanna music playing.
Oh, I heard about that one.
He said that was
As
hell.
torture. Yeah, he said the torture was he had to listen to Umbrella over and over again.
And people were just walking on all fours being tortured.
Scary.
Yeah, bro.
Umbrella.
But I was like,
Yeah.
she's a talented artist. Like, I wonder why Rihanna.
Ugh, that is kind of
Damn.
that's kind of scary, bro.
Umbrella.
Yeah.
I think he just said just Rihanna. Period. Rihanna music. Period was just
yeah.
over.
I heard about that too. What'd you say though?
Umbrella in hell. Like,
Yeah.
That's ironic. You know what I mean? Because it's like
It is.
supposed to be hot down there. You know, like
Yeah, baby, it's raining. It's
Acid
raining
rain.
hellfire. Like, you listen to the
Brimstone
lyrics, bro. That'd probably be morbid. So imagine hearing the lyrics to that song, but like, chopped and screwed, like
while you're being
torn down
tortured.
while you're being tortured. Baby, it's raining, raining, raining. Imagine hearing that, bro, and it's just, fuck, dude. That's demented. Really, if you think about it.
You know, my question is,
Say again.
he's a man of God. Why did he go to hell?
you never know.
Maybe he wasn't really what he. You see what I'm saying? Like maybe
Maybe
the sincerity wasn't really there. You know what I'm saying?
There was a youth pastor
Jesus went to hell too.
on purpose.
Yeah, he did, but
on purpose.
But to go get the keys, though, right?
But maybe he was sent there to
tell us that you're going to get tortured on all
see.
fours and listen to Rihanna.
yeah, maybe.
or to witness it, and then
So don't listen to Rihanna now, just so it's fresh when you get down there. All right, that's my tip for the day. You should go to hell.
it's a good tip, man.
You don't want to get played out and get annoyed right away. You want to generally
So
over
you can.
time happen.
He's like, oh, but you don't want to know the lyrics when you get down there? No,
Nope, I want to be fresh.
you don't. You really want to be fresh and experience it for what it is. But yeah, man. So anything you guys want to add to that before we go to my topic? Move on to mine.
Would you guys microdose all four?
I would try it. I think I might try it out. I might consider it. How about you, Furious?
I mean, I think the alcohol. I mean, I wasn't microdosing, but like I remember at a time I'd have like a shot or two a day. You know what I mean?
Now, how did you feel?
I felt good.
Now, how long did you do it for? That's the question.
I wasn't tracking it, but I would say there's a while I was doing. I'll say let's say like 2 weeks.
So in that 2 weeks, though, did you feel like you weren't tired in the morning? You weren't.
I definitely felt like I had a little bit more energy, but the thing is that for me, alcohol constipates me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that was definitely a noticeable side effect.
But a quick cure though would be a diet with dietary fiber enrichments.
Right.
Chia seeds, like
More water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll microdose that. I don't know about the nicotine. I mean, isn't the nicotine still cancerous?
Yeah, it's still a carcinogen. So that's the one.
Yeah.
All three of the bad ones, they're still like we don't know how to really like talk.
Is
well
alcohol
about
cancerous
this. too? All things are carcinogenic. Yeah.
Everything is, right?
Yeah. So talking on your cell phone, going outside too long.
So if you can't escape cancer. It's gonna, if it's gonna hit you at one point, it will.
It's going to hit you.
Right, no matter what. One day, fuck.
Non-smokers get lung cancer. Why?
I know one. I know. Unfortunately, know somebody that got it that never smoked or drank in his life.
Was he around it?
That could be the factor too.
Here and there.
That secondhand.
Good news is it's shrinking though.
Good.
The tumors are shrinking significantly. I'm not gonna say who the person is, but
Right.
Good.
that's significantly. So that's great news. But it's just it's tough to see that. You know what I'm saying? When the person didn't live that way at all their entire life, maybe didn't even have more than a wine cooler at a camping trip 8 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Way too
it's like
much
come
sugar.
on, man. Like you know what I mean? It's just shit like that doesn't make sense to me, man.
What do you think? What do y'all think? Like you live your life following the rules, eating right, doing everything right, and your shit still gets fucked up. What do y'all think is like a reason why that happens? Just random chaos, or
Like just a random numbers game, or do you think it's because the person had like if you believe in a higher beings, one might say you got it because of the way you were living, right? That's you reaping kind of like a
karmic debt or something like that?
Or is it literally just fucking random? It just it happened to whoever it happened to.
I like
Good
to
or
believe that
bad.
it's random because
Yeah.
church goers.
True, it happens to good
get
people. That's true. You
terrible
can't explain
things,
that either.
Bad people get good things. It has to be random, but a lot of it too is.
That was your question, right? I don't want to. Okay.
Our advancements, like, what was the average life cycle for like a troglodyte? 25 years. Like he was an old man,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're living to be 90. Like maybe we're living past our prime.
What's considered a prime though? If you're fit, because I've seen dudes that are jacked in the gym, bro, that are older than me, like maybe 30 years older than me, 65, bro's in their cut,
But
tone the fuck out.
backtrack like
Is he in his prime or,
no, backtrack to what is fit. So like if you just ate well and lived your life taking care of your offspring and hunting, gathering, you're not lifting weights, right? So lifting weights, supplements, that kind of thing. They're probably doing steroids too, right? So more enhancements and more things to,
could actually be harmful to the body more than good.
100%. Messing up our hormone release, our endocrine system. I don't know.
Dang, and that might be why. See, no one really knows the answers truly, huh? If you think about it at the end of the day, fellas, I think since everybody has a different genetic code, I think since everybody is different down to their fingerprints, that might be the reason why everything's just different for some people, right? You might have a fat or a happy fat motherfucker that lives till 120. Let's be honest. He didn't do anything. Didn't work out. Like you said, everything reacted the way it naturally did, and this person was just lived his life the way he wanted to, and he lived to that age and died at that age. Right? Is it just because that's just how his genes work? Right? But now if someone else were to live that way, that might be catastrophic to that person. You see what I'm saying? Right. But that person, just the way they are with their fingerprints and their own genome, and they can handle it that way. That's my thing. So I actually, where I'm going with that is to answer your question. I guess I kind of agree with B Money. I think it is random. I don't think. Yeah, you can't, because it doesn't make sense. If it was a quote unquote karma thing, or you think it's happening to somebody because they deserve it, quote unquote, that can even be held up to being to an opinion. If you want to be right, if you want to be cutthroat about it, was that person bad? Yeah, because your moral code says that it was. But then again, you challenge ethics, and this can lead to a whole other conversation. Murderers, how the fuck do you justify that? Murdering innocent people,
we're overpopulated,
touching and pedophilia, all that shit. You can't justify that. The majority of the world would say you're a sick fuck for that. You know what I mean? Right. Well, your moral code only says it, doesn't mean it. No, motherfucker. I think everybody's moral code might disapprove of that. You know what I mean?
Rules. Who made the rules?
So yeah, you can go even, like I said, this can turn into a whole other podcast by itself. Mm-hmm. What is truly right and wrong, right? This shit could really.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like who determines all that? Well, if you're a believer that person is God. If you don't believe in God, then who the hell determines that? The law?
Your government.
I guess. Your government, right? They determine it. It's just nuts. That rabbit hole goes deep and deep and deep. You guys already know that. So anyway, that's my answer to your question, bro. I think that it's random just because too many bad things happen to great people who don't deserve certain things to happen to them. You know what I'm saying? No one's perfect, of course. Everybody has their bad, and everybody has their their stuff in their closet that no one really truly knows about sometimes.
Well, that goes into our last episode too. Like, is that God's plan then?
I kind of want to get.
I think it's easier to lean towards it's just chaos.
Because
roll the dice.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick, if you can answer it, I want to ask you just because he wasn't here for the last episode. It wasn't the last episode. It's actually going to be the episode prior to the last episode. So 2 episodes ago, we talked about free will and if it was actually free. Do you believe that it is?
I mean,
do you believe that free will is free?
In the literal sense, no.
Okay.
But in a figurative sense, yeah, because I mean, we out of the choices that we have, we can choose what we want to do. But in the literal sense, I don't think there is free because there's only a certain amount of choices that you got. I mean, you just because, and this question can also go down a rabbit hole too.
You know what I mean? It could. No, it can. That's also I was also afraid to ask it because I didn't want you to be like, man, he can't really answer the question now because.
But I think
it's a big question to ask.
Like spiritually, I think there is. Spiritually and but I think literally, if we're looking at the world, just how we operate, I don't think there's necessarily free will. There's a certain amount of choices, and there's choices that people are going to lean to based off certain principles and certain, things that they need or, certain belief systems, whatever. There's a certain, you know what I mean? Or let's say, okay, the experiment where they have the bird or the mice with the snacks, whatever, it'll get shocked or whatever when it touches one, and then it'll learn.
Yeah, one of the prongs. Yeah,
you know what I mean. But it only has so many options. You know what I mean. Yeah. So it's that's not free. You know what I mean.
No.
Now maybe to the mice, it is those 2 options. It can choose whatever it wants. It can go get the cheese or get shocked, whatever, or you know what I'm saying. It can.
True.
But it's not. It's not. I wouldn't say it's necessarily free.
Well, because in the biblical sense, only man has free will, right? Because animals don't have a soul and all that, right?
I think man and angels do.
Free will.
Yeah. So now real quick to get your tip on this, I want to ask this question, okay? And then we'll move on. We got to make this quick, all right? This is technically a topic from 2 episodes ago. So anyway, Furious wasn't there for it. That's what we're going to ask.
Quick refresher for
those who didn't, catch that episode or haven't,
they felt they didn't get enough.
Exactly. You have a fork in the road, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the theory that I had brought up, and again, this doesn't, I said this last time when I said this, I'm going to say it again. I'm not saying this is exactly how it is, but my theory, this is a theory that maybe this is how God does it, right? He gives you free will to see what you're going to choose, right? You're either going to choose him or you're going to choose the opposite way. And we all know where the opposite way leads, right? If you're a believer.
Right.
So you get to that fork in the road, and if he's all knowing, he should know what you're about to do before you do it, right?
Right.
So the only way I was like, okay, the only way I can make sense of that in my brain would be that he just knows both outcomes. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with that? But the part that he doesn't know is what you're actually going to choose. But then you're like, well, then B Money made this interesting point that, well, if that's the case, then you have to accept that there might be a flaw with God, because if he doesn't know what you're going to choose, then how is he all knowing? What do you think?
From God's perspective, I think he sees the ultimate outcome, but he also sees every outcome, but he sees the ultimate one. But the thing is that it's not from his perspective; it's from our perspective. So we don't even know what we're going to choose ultimately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, once we make the choice, it's been done.
Dang.
So
yeah.
you know what I mean. So the thing is, and then also I know like why would he let it happen if he knows whatever? But it's like from what I've been like looking up, he wants to be. It's supposed to be fair, so you're supposed to be able to choose the bad thing too.
Yeah,
because that will really show where your heart lies on what you choose, because the option is there. Now, not the knowledge isn't necessarily there to make the right choice, but the option is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucked up if you look. You know what I'm saying, how you look at it, because we have no control. No one asked to be here. We have no control of where you're born and what experiences you have to lead up to these things. So it's not really a fair game. But I think when you looking at it from that perspective, like we do in a sense we can choose the better option or the worst option. Yeah,
for sure. Okay, so you do believe that there is still a choice there then, right?
Yeah.
Even though he knows the ultimate outcome.
Yeah, but it's like we're never going to be able to see from that level of.
I get what you're saying. So you're saying that we won't ever be able to understand it the way God does because we're not God.
Right. And like and it's like he can know, okay, like so and so is going to go to hell or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But let's just say, like, from this person's like perspective, because at the same time they say, well, grace and all that, right?
Yeah.
Something that might be something along the way that person does that from their perspective they make the right choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it might change things, but at the same time, it just presents another rabbit hole, because it's just going to be side to side.
You're right. Tit for tat. Yeah. And another thing too, like, were you gonna say something? I don't want to cut you off.
Just listen.
This is the last question. We'll move back to my topic. Do you believe that there are people that were created by God to fail? Not like as in like he wants them to go to hell, but he created them because he already knew this person was going to go to hell. And their sole purpose is to be there to tempt the person that actually has a chance to make it to heaven. Do you think there's people that are basically predestined, that are fucked, that he knows are not going to change at all? Or do you think that that's not true?
That I think,
or predestined to be saved.
Maybe, but I think the thing is like, see, like we can't understand. Like, there's no way that we're gonna be able to understand like that level of consciousness, because
this is a good answer.
It seems like God's perspective is like all encompassing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like everything at once type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there's an ultimate outcome, but at the same time, it's like, what was the question again? Is it you think
is there people that have predestined like outcomes in life? Like they're predetermined, no matter what, they're going to end up here. All roads are going to lead here for this person.
Maybe,
you see what I'm saying?
Maybe, but I think that also it's not that simple.
Yeah, it's too complicated to answer. I respect that. Hey, bro, kudos to you, because honestly, I like how you answered that question. It's like you're not giving me an answer. You're not giving me an answer where you're like, oh, I know it, so let me try to sound like I know how to answer this.
Right.
But you're giving me an educated answer in the sense where it's like, I don't really know, but my way of telling you that I know is like, we got to understand something. Our consciousness is not God's consciousness. We're not, we got to remember we're mortal, right? If you believe in God, we believe that, he's obviously higher than us.
Right.
So maybe, like you said, I love that. That's a good way to put it. His consciousness wasn't meant for us to understand it to that degree. Does that make sense? Maybe he didn't want us to, and he probably has his reasons for it. Is that what you're going for? That's what I got from what you said.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I got from it.
Yeah, okay. And if you follow the mythos or the story, it's like, at one point we could see him, at one point, but then, the whole tree of knowledge thing blinded us or whatever, and that's what kind of set all the negative shit in motion,
Yeah.
So, and that's the part that's hard to wrap like my head around, because it's like, like let's just another rabbit hole, right? Let's just say, right, Lucifer, right?
Yeah.
Right? Or the highest angel or whatever, right? Supremely intelligent, right?
Yeah.
For all accounts, he loses to sin. Like he loses to sin as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does it mean that he's not necessarily intelligent, or it just means that he doesn't have the capacity that God has? You know what I'm saying? To like he's not in control. You know what I mean? So it's like because like I would question like, man, like how could these high beings fall after seeing all this stuff and being in the presence, and they still succumb to it? You know what I mean? Knowing like what's at stake. You know what I mean? Like they still succumb to it. That's the part that really like confuses me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
knowing the outcome and still going for it.
Yeah,
that's the part. Those you're like, well, you know what this is going to turn out. Why the fuck would you even?
You know what I mean? And it's like
that's interesting, huh?
But it always falls into like it's God's plan loophole. So bad things were not because of God, but good things were because of God. And it always this weird loophole for it to be supported.
Yeah,
that's
I see what you're saying. Yeah, and that's always the loophole they put there to kind of fill that. Well, I don't really know the answer to that, but because it's God's will, that's why it happens that way.
Even
right? Because no one really knows how to. Sorry,
like cancer, right? Like
no one knows how to explain it, but they'll put that. Is that what you're trying to say? Like, put it there.
Our church will pray for you. Well, didn't God give me the cancer? What were we praying for then?
No, He allowed it to happen to you. That's what you're gonna get told. You know that,
but then
He allowed it for a reason. It's part of His plan. That's what they always say.
And that's that weird loophole that like okay,
or it could be see, I know, and it's hard. Of course, you don't want to hear that, right?
Like, no.
So you're thinking in a minute. It's like then you have the optimistic one, that the believer, which I admire to a degree. I'm not gonna lie, I admire a person that believes this.
Oh yeah,
is well, no, because I'm gonna be a living testimony. That's why it happened to me. You see what I'm saying? A lot of them will, and I love that because at least that's a good way to look at it. You're not depressed. You're not like, well, I'm dead. Instead of doing that, you know what I'm saying? They're more like
continue.
They're more like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna beat that. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna. This is just something for me to test for me to beat. And watch, I'm gonna be a living testimony. That's what this is. That's all this is. I respect that. I admire that. That's admirable, man. Like you're able to look at that.
But it's a weird test.
And even though you believe it's like,
how do you fight it? You can't really fight it, right? You have to have chemotherapy.
Of course, that fights it. But I think your will does to a degree. Yeah. I think the will to live also helps. I think that definitely tremendously, I'm sure, would help with the recovery.
To add to that, I think the way in it, like one of those instances, like let's say you got like you find out that you're like terminally ill, right? Mm-hmm. I think a way that you fight it, that you're fighting that, even though it's gonna happen, right? And it's like, oh, like why is this happening to me? It's like, okay, first, don't even ask why, right?
Yeah,
that's the way you fight it, accepting it, and then not turning negative towards everything because like
still going
to
church on Sunday,
like
going to work,
like it's bad, like it's painful, but it's like if you can go through that and not like be like blasphemous, you know what I mean?
And see it as a part of your life,
and still honor Him, and still be thankful for living. That's how you fight it, because it's like what I've realized about myself.
Random sound effects.
No,
you loaded a gun earlier. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That was my text message.
Just accept the news as it's a new part of your life now, and then that's a great.
Like what I was talking about earlier, right? Like that shit frustrated me, right? That shit frustrated me. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, over the past couple of weeks, like I've been like, you know what, like it is what it is type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's hard because I'm human. You know what I'm saying? I'm like it's a visceral feeling, like going through that shit. You know what I mean? So it's like my body's telling me to react too. You know what I'm saying? Like my mind is like, man, like that's not fair, man. Like fuck that. You know what I mean? But it's like I got to be the one to be like, this shit. Like it's weird. The other day I thought about it, and I just thought about like I just try to like conceptualize the God. You know what I mean? And I'm like, this shit is so minuscule compared to
everything else.
Like it's so fucking like it doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? And now I can kind of see like what they say, like just keep your heart on God and like you'll be good type of thing. You know what I mean? Because you can't depend on stuff from this earth, like flesh. Like you can't depend on people necessarily. True. Of course you can depend on some, right? But intrinsically we can't, right? We're all flawed. You know what I mean? We all have a degree of selfishness. We all have, some people are more extreme, but it's like at the end of the day, if you don't put your faith in the material, like, and you put your faith in a higher, like God or like something like that, the rest doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's it's weird. It's like a kind of like a shield against the bullshit because you can't control this place anyways. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It is. You're gonna have your time. I could leave here after this, and God forbid, you guys will never see me again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That'd be unfortunate, but yeah, you're right.
But my mindset leading up to that last moment is going to dictate everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least, I mean that's what we're told. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah.
But I see like that's the battle. It's a spiritual one and it's a mental one, and like that shit can get real, man. Like when you're going through shit.
Oh yeah.
You start hearing, not necessarily voices, but you're like talking to yourself, and you just think about all these things that you can do to get out of it, and like, man, like I could do this, I could do that, and it's like exhausting.
It really is, though. Yeah.
Exhausting focusing on this place.
No. It really is, man. When you focus on it too much, it's like, oh, it takes a toll, man.
That's one of the best responses that I've ever heard.
Yeah, man. You know what? That really was, brother. Kudos to you.
Appreciate it.
That was good, man. Wow.
I like that. I like it.
So do I, brother. Thank you for that, man. And that's exactly why I wanted to ask you for your tidbit on it, man, because I knew we were gonna get that. That's why I was like, I have to bring that up, just because I already knew what kind of response I was gonna get out of you, man. So, and it's good, bro. People love it too, man. There's good feedback for it. So, yeah, for sure, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I believe in God, man. I feel like it's better to believe in something than nothing at all.
Yeah.
I do believe it. I do believe in it, and I'm not ashamed of it. You can't be, man. And even if I'm wrong, I'm not gonna know about it. You know what I'm saying? That's how
That's the best part. If you're wrong,
if I'm wrong, well, I'm not gonna know about it. And at least I wasn't a terrible person either.
and if you're right,
That was I'm about to say that. And if you're right, oh, thank God I was right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, that'll be relief, a major relief.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. But all right, guys, moving on. You know what I'm saying? Transitioning over to
you,
my topic. Yeah, to me. My topic. All right, guys. So my topic for the episode is cancel culture. So I brought it up, a little earlier. Right? I was talking about cancel culture, kind of briefly bringing it up. Cancel culture is a part of our culture now so prominently. Would you guys agree? I think now my question for you fellas, really more of a question than a topic, is, hasn't cancel culture always existed to a degree? Would you guys agree? Like, think about it. I think now I feel like it's at an all-time high, right? But now it's like, is that because people are woke now? And they're finally speaking with the voices that we have, and they're less scared to speak up? Or do you think it's because before they didn't feel like they had a voice, but now they have one, so now they can use it through social media? Who wants to go first?
I think that cancel culture existed way before social media and the internet.
And as it's prominent now, like way more. Yeah.
And I would say cancel culture is it's a group of people that is trying to undermine another group, or just someone trying to undermine someone else's, like reputation, business, something like that, right? The way that, I'm saying, like your avenue to feed your family, you know what I'm saying? I think there's countless examples, I mean? I just think that now that there's the internet, it's just more, what do I say? It's easily attainable to influence something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
it is.
Like, because all you gotta do, like, let's say, like you were hanging out. Let's say that you were like at the job, right? Let's say that Mayor Parrish walks in or some shit, right?
Okay.
And someone records him saying some fucking such shit. Now they can go put it on fucking Instagram.
Yep.
And maybe it was taken out of context, right?
Yeah, it could have been in a way that he didn't even mean it.
Which happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially nowadays. Because this little device didn't exist back in the day, and it gives everybody a voice that wants to have one. Right? Would you guys agree? It's straight up.
Keyboard courage.
That's what it is. No, I don't got to stand on a podium. I don't got to stand with a pulpit in front of me and in front of a crowd of people
and you can
do it that way.
Too.
Hide your face. Yeah, you could be anonymous talking all this shit. You're right. Yeah. Trolls.
No, has it always been around? Yeah, it's always been around, but now it's easier. That's why we're seeing more.
Maybe that's why it's happening more.
Easier to talk about and just submit something stupid, and then people will follow it.
That's true. That's unfortunately true. Which kind of goes into the next part. Well, you don't want to cut you off.
I totally agree.
Okay, cool. There's not really much of an argument there because it's true. I agree with you guys 100%. Splash Mountain. I bring this up because I recently went to Disneyland, right? I went to Disneyland, so you know about that. So I kind of mixed the recording days up a little bit. But I went to Disneyland recently with my family, and I heard that it's closing. If you know about this, you're probably, I don't know if you don't know about this, Furious.
It's being remodeled, I think. Right?
It's being it's closing, but they're going to reopen it. It's still going to be a log flume ride. Don't worry, this ties into the topic. What the fuck? We're talking about Disneyland ride for, right? Well, I'll tell you why, sir. supposedly, and I think B Money knows this already. We have kids, so that's probably you do too. But maybe your kids are not Disney fans. Maybe you just don't give a shit about Disneyland. That's probably why you don't know about this. I don't know.
They like it.
Maybe
Okay, enough.
Maybe,
right?
maybe he avoids Splash Mountain.
True. Maybe you avoid Splash Mountain, but I'm sure maybe you even saw this headline, and just didn't give a shit about it. But here it goes, bro. Supposedly, the ride, since it's based off an old 1940s Disney film that's controversial, especially nowadays, Song of the South.
Yeah.
Supposedly, it's a racist movie, right? And the characters in it are. I guess there's supposedly a scene in particular,
racial undertones.
That's what it is, and supposedly one of the characters. So the cartoon characters that Uncle Remus, this black gentleman that lives on a plantation.
I thought he was a real person, wasn't he?
No, he is. He's real.
He's real, and then there's
he's telling a story. So the cartoon characters are coming from stories that he's telling to the kids that are living there with him on the plantation. Does that make sense? So, but the thing is, Disney try to be clever. There's white children and black children together, and the Uncle Remus is black, and he's telling the stories, right? So they're trying to make it lighthearted. Plantation, that already sounds weird to me. Like, do you live with these white folks, or do you work for the white folks? You know what I'm saying? That's the undertone right there too that he's talking about. So you have Uncle Remus telling these stories, right? And it's about Brer Bear, Brer Rabbit, and Brer Fox. Brer Fox and Brer Bear are hunting the rabbit. They're trying to eat him. Right, that's basically it's a lighthearted little story about two predators trying to eat the prey. Basically, what that is, right? You got an apex predator, the bear. Is Fox considered apex? No, right? Nah, no. He's still a predator, but he gets torn apart by the double his side. Too, He's prey too, especially to the bear. The bear got hungry enough, the fox is done for. But anyway, these two are trying to catch him in traps, right? This particular supposed racial scene, they make a tar baby. If you literally look up on YouTube, you look up tar baby and Brer Rabbit. There's an interaction where they set it up. He's basically sitting on a trunk. It's not a real child, but he's all black. He's made out of tar, so he's black. He's made out of tar, this baby or this kid. They put clothes on him to make him look like he's real, and this is a trap that the bear and the fox are setting for the rabbit. And the rabbit walks by, he hops by, then he hops back. He looks at him, he's like, hello. He's saying hi to him, but he's not saying hi back. He's not real. He's not real. He's a stuffed, he's a fake, he's a stuffed, he's tar. Oh, then he goes back.
So that he sticks to it or what?
So he goes back and he looks at him, he's like, I'm saying hi. Like he's like interjecting to him. He's like, why isn't this stupid thing saying hi to me back? So then he punches it in the face. Then his hand gets stuck on it. He's trying to pull it away and his hand's stuck to the tar baby. And I'm like, I don't know how that could be taken as racist. Why? Because they didn't make it a light skin substance that he was hitting, or it was weird, bro. I don't know. But people are claiming that is one of the most racist parts of the movie, aside from the plantation itself.
When was that made? The episode or that?
No, this movie was made in 1944, and by the way, it's like blacklisted now by Disney, bro.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay.
And this is tying into the whole cancel culture, trying to. Sorry, you want me to finish what I was going to say first, or do you want to?
No.
Just real quick, and I'll keep that though. Keep it trapped because I want to hear what you're going to say. Right. But where does this all leading to? This movie, right? They took the characters from this movie and they based Splash Mountain off Brer Rabbit and Brer Bear and Brer Fox hunting the rabbit. That's the theme of the ride. Okay. So as you're going through the ride, you see them trying to set traps, and then they're hurting themselves in the process. And you have other animals singing, right? Zippity doo dah, all that shit's in the song. In the ride, the ride's just basically based off that movie. That's all it is. There's no tar babies in the ride. I don't see them anywhere. If you look, I looked for them. I actually recorded it. I recorded my last ride of that ride. I wrote it last week, and I recorded the whole thing. I got soaked, by the way. It's a fucking water ride, but anyway. I recorded to try to find racial themes, and I couldn't find any racist themes anywhere. I didn't see it. I was looking for the tar baby. I was like, well, if the tar baby's on this ride, that's probably why they're going to. Anyway, long story short, cancel culture is trying to get rid of the ride because of that.
Not trying. They did it.
They did it. Actually, they were trying in 2020, and then Disney came out and actually they won. We're going to re-theme the ride to Princess and the Frog. And Tiana is a black princess. And that story, yeah, bro. I knew he was going to laugh when I told him. They're re-theming it now to Princess and the Frog, and Princess Tiana is black. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I don't unpack all that for you, so you understood.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do you think, man?
Let me answer the thing about the retheming thing. So that right there can be taken as racist too, because it's like, well, why are you going to do Princess and the Frog?
Yes, right? There's a pushback for that now.
So there's that.
It ties into cancel culture. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
But I would say this, like, Walt Disney, like they used to have really racist cartoons, right? Like it was themed like the way
they did, especially in the 40s. Yeah,
I don't know if you watched the one with like what's it called, like World War II.
Yeah,
they had a lot.
See how they had the freaking what's it called, fighter pilots from Japan fucked up.
Oh yeah,
fucked up. You know what I mean? So I think and the whole tar baby thing back then, I mean, of course, none of us were alive back then, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't researched extensively back then, but I do know that at this time, it probably was a racist thing that they were trying to imply, just because of the time.
Yeah.
It was the 40s. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And why does it have to be a tar baby? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Of all things, a tar baby, and then the plantation. Just this.
I mean, now we can Google it and see if tar baby was even used as a derogatory term. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can look at we can look at that. I mean, and
Google
maybe,
it right now as we're
you know
talking.
what I'm saying? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but it's like the implications from that. I can see why it would be taken like that. You know what I mean, just from the cartoon, like obviously on the ride when I first went on the ride, I wasn't thinking like, oh, what episode is this from? You know?
Yeah. Well, the movie. It's just a movie.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure.
Well, what movie is this from?
Yeah.
You weren't thinking, oh, this is a Song of the South. That's racist.
Right.
You weren't thinking that.
Right. And
You just thought a little harmful animatronic animals. You didn't fucking care. Yeah.
And they didn't put the tar baby in there. And that,
No.
and that was probably for a reason too. You know?
And when they originally built the ride, now you guys can fact check me. I don't believe Tar Baby was ever there, even for the beginning of the ride when they first opened it. So I don't think the Imagineers were that fucking dumb. You know what I'm saying? To put a Tar Baby on there. So,
but the thing that is damning for Disney is that they have a history of these cartoons.
They do.
That's the damning part.
Yeah, and that's why they're trying to condemn that.
So
probably altogether is probably why they're trying to retheme it too.
tar baby is not a racial slur.
Okay.
So then why is it? Yeah. So what the fuck?
Now, okay, can you show me that?
So you Google it.
on your phone?
Google. See, yeah. If you Google right now, if you Google Tar Baby Song of the South, that's all you're gonna see.
Yeah. Just show me the episode so like I can watch it and then see because
We'll show you the clip.
yeah.
Okay, we'll show you the clip. It's part of the movie, but we'll show you the clip.
Yeah, you have to go on YouTube now because
Yeah.
Disney Plus won't.
Yeah. That shit's banned from Disney Plus too, man. You cannot go home and look up Song of the South. You will not find it. You could probably find it if you downloaded it illegally from like a I don't know, Pirate Bay, or something, or like a torrent site. A torrent, you might be able to torrent it, but as far as like looking it up on a streaming network, no way. It's not gonna happen. That's just blackballed. Probably for good reason.
And with
So
his
what do you
kids,
think?
Right?
Is that racist? Oh, I'm not saying it is or isn't. I just want to know.
This the one from that they're saying that he's like telling the story, right?
Yeah, Uncle Remus is the one telling the story.
I can
black
see,
man.
I can see how it could be. Like I said, I can see how it can be taken as that, just because of the time period that it was made in, just because of how they depicted art with African Americans. I can see how it can be taken as that. Maybe it wasn't implied to be like that, but I can see why someone would probably assume that it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now me, I don't obviously off that, like I'm, tar, you can it's like sticky paper, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I get the logic of them trapping the rabbit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like it was the way that they constructed and everything. Obviously I know it's a trap. So I'm not thinking like, oh, like why is it black, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like was there any party that it was like, how dare they?
No, but the thing is
because some people were arguing that it could have been honey or it could have been some other sticky substance. Could have been something else. Yeah, but then it wouldn't look like a kid either, though.
It could, but the thing, but then that goes to say, why didn't they use a
True,
scarecrow?
they could try to. Well, why didn't they use tree sap or a scarecrow, like you said, right?
So,
Well, I've played with tar before when I was growing up as a kid. Like you can have a tower of tar, but with, I think molasses, honey, that's just gonna.
Oh, you got a point. He's saying that, and it's sticky as fuck. Obviously, tar is sticky as shit. It killed the mammoths and the saber tooths and all that shit.
So I mean,
I think watching.
But I understand what you're saying too, though. You can see how it could be looked as racial because of the time frame, and then
the time period.
in the way they dressed it. You know what I'm saying, to make it look like a black child, and I can understand all that.
I think the very last part though, because the rabbit's covered, that's blackface, right? So maybe
that's what I'm saying.
That
Could have
part
been
I could
somewhat.
see.
Yeah, I can understand it. Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted you guys to your two piece on that. What did you think? Was that basically what your opinion is on it as well?
Hold up.
Yeah.
What do you think of the retheming? Do you think that it's cancel culture being justified, or do you think that's my question to you guys too, though? What do you have a thought?
Okay, so here's what I looked at. Okay.
Oh, let's hear it.
Now, this is what I looked up, but now this just says this as a racial slur. So I don't know what part you looked up, but this is what I looked up. This is Wikipedia. So it says. So this is off Wikipedia. It says, although the term tar baby is documented as coming from a folktale of African origin, its modern meaning in America is different. Many consider tar baby to be a pejorative term for African Americans. Lexico lists tar baby as a contemptuous term for a black person. The Oxford English Dictionary describes it as a derogatory term for a black, U.S. or Maori. And the New Partridge Dictionary of Slang and Unconventional English lists it as an offensive term for a black person. Several United States politicians, including presidential party John Kerry, John McCain, Mitt Romney have been criticized by civil rights leaders, the media, and fellow politicians for using the tar baby metaphor.
Jesus.
Wow.
Linguist John McWhorter argued that people are unaware that some consider it to have a second meaning as a slur, and it is an obscure slur, true, not even known to be so by a substantial proportion of the population. Those who feel that tar baby's status as a slur is patently obvious are judging from the fact that it sounds like a racial slur. So I can...
Damn, when you put it that way, that makes a lot of sense.
So they're saying yes, it is, and yes, it
on
how you use it.
Yeah,
exactly. Context,
wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean,
it makes it kind of tricky
because it's like it just raises questions on why that was chosen. And now I understand the logic of the trap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
I get that.
And that's how they play it.
Yeah.
The logic of it being sticky, and like you said, it being able to hold its form. When you're playing with it as a kid, you can build something out of it. But also, when you hit it, you're stuck. Or you touch it at all, you're stuck. And that's how they justify it right there. That the bear and the fox used that because that was what sticky was going to catch them from.
So you never know.
Yeah, you never know. It could be. Yeah, you're right. It could have been an innocent usage of tar, or it could have really been, racist undertones, man.
And hey, the company used to be racist. Like, it
probably was.
Now they're.
It probably was.
Now they're trying to turn it around.
Exactly.
So, but it's like.
But you said there's a flip side to that coin too, though. Now, is it racist because they're changing it to a black theme?
Right. I mean, and that could be taken because now it's like, oh, happy now. You know what I mean? So it's like you never.
I was about to say that, bro.
Now it's a better black story.
Said happy now. Look, we gave y'all the one black princess her own ride. You happy now?
You know what I'm saying?
That's fucked up too, though. Yeah, you put it that way. It's like
because then if they did it like they made it Elsa Mountain. Now you replaced a black folk story with
that's like turning the Matterhorn into Frozen. Yeah, it's like turning the Matterhorn into Frozen. So it's no longer
Race is always tricky because when it comes to like language, like you can, it doesn't even have to be a word that means black. If the group
it's how you use
wants it to wants it to be offensive, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because
you water drinker. Like, oh shit. Did you call me a water drinker?
Well, it's true.
Because there's also you probably never heard this slur before, but duck, that's a slur.
Duck
is a slur.
Wow.
Okay, like
hold on. I'm trying to think who it could be.
You know why?
Asian Americans?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, because yellow, right?
No,
yeah.
Duck.
Duck.
Duck. Yeah.
No, but think Daffy Duck. That's where it came from. Take away the beak.
Ooh. He's a black duck.
But then I feel like
no, but that's where that term.
Okay.
Probably came
I was gonna say I feel like Donald Duck was more prevalent, so I would think like it's either a white person or it has to be an Asian American because they have a really lot of entrees with duck, right? So all right.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I didn't think of that, bro. That's a good point.
But just like the other one, like
and then Donald Duck is prominently white, and then Daffy Duck is prominently black. Does that mean you think? Am I just like reading into shit too much, or do you think that's something too?
Just because I've heard it. I've heard it being used. You know what I mean?
And growing up or recent?
No, growing up.
Okay,
but it was referring.
It's like an older term.
It was referring to an African American. You know what I'm saying? And I thought about it. I'm like, why duck? I'm like, okay, geese aren't ducks, right? They might be from the same, I don't know, family or some shit like that. But but the only duck that I can think of where someone would get that because it's a clever one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like duck.
You have to dissect that so much.
Yeah.
You do though, just to get there. Yeah, that's a lot of.
Look at that. Look at the group of ducks. Like, I don't understand who are you talking to?
Oh, what are you referring to?
Is that they know. You know what I mean?
True.
They know what they're saying. Like, okay, just say like, okay, like someone could say, like,
damn.
Let's say,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Like, or just, I don't know. Let's say we're talking about a different race, right? Let's say it was I don't know, which race can I use? Okay, let's say purple people, right? Purple people, right?
Play it safe.
Man, those freaking what's it called? Those grapefruits.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You know what I mean?
Look at that Barney over there.
Or look at that. You know
look at that Barney over there.
Look at that purple dinosaur or something. You know what I'm saying? But it's like
they
know.
Yes, it's the context
they
behind
know.
it.
They know.
Exactly. And the thing is that when they call, like, let's say the person who is the recipient of that, when they hear it, it's gonna like confuse them at first, like, what the fuck, like, what you call me? But then they're gonna think about it like, oh, you know what I mean?
Is that worse?
That's
are like the dissected terms worse than the hardcore words?
I would say Yes, in a sense, because it's like you really had you were getting creative with this, so you could find a way, or you're trying to find a way around. You're still trying to, you know what I'm saying?
You have so much hate that you have to find a way around it to come off where you're not going to be canceled.
Exactly.
Like, I was recording saying duck. What about it?
Exactly. He looks like a duck.
I'm sorry, should I not put the laugh track in there?
Yeah, probably not laugh at racism.
But yeah,
Jesus.
because it's like, okay, because
I'm sorry, just you guys got really quiet. That's like, let me break the tension. Just kidding.
Because that takes me to the episode, the Disney episode where they were doing World War II and they were showing the kamikaze pilots.
All right, you guys can continue. I'm just gonna grab a drink.
Go ahead.
And they're
by the way for you.
You got room? Yeah. Okay.
But they were showing the kamikaze pilots, right?
Yeah.
Remember, and you remember what they look like, and it's like, I can now obviously a kid's not gonna be like, oh, like that's them, right? But when we as adults can see, bro,
We
like
know.
they were implying, and it's like they use such an innocent creature, right, to do it,
Yeah.
you know. But it had just so many implications. Like they didn't even have to say
Why that? Why,
the slur. They just put it in the art, and it just spoke for itself. They definitely like put the flag there, you know. It implied.
Yeah, you knew what you're watching,
Exactly.
but as a kid, it's just
Yeah.
that makes it worse, though. I think that because you're trying to be so sly about it and tell everybody about it, you know.
Because the real like visceral racism, yes, there's some that is like in your face, but a lot of the stuff is subtle, very subtle. It's like hiding in plain sight.
All right.
I said, yeah, because
I've never heard that term.
yeah, because like let's say like before today, like let's say if you heard it being used somewhere, you'd be like, that's odd, you know, like
Now I'm going to think about that, and I'm going to try not to ever say that animal. Like, look at that duck at Apollo Park. What'd you say? No, the actual duck.
Yeah, you know, so yeah, so I think you know, but you know, things are, you know, changing, so it's like, you know, people are getting more aware. I think honestly there's always going to be a form of racism, you know, just because of the difference in how we look. Some people are just always going to take it more seriously, you know.
Even with like gender too.
Yeah, that man.
Doesn't matter what color you are. If you're a man behind a woman walking at night, like, she's already assuming the worst. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're going to replace Song of the South with Tina. All right. But I bet that's going to get so much hate too. 'Cause if they add the bad guy there with the voodoo magic, you're going to have a lot of Christians. Why are you showcasing all this voodoo magic for this ride? Yeah, I guarantee people can hate everything. There's no.
They'll find a way to hate everything.
Oh, 100%. They'll find a way to get angry with it, and.
But it's like why? Like why? Like what? Like what's so important about? I don't know. The energy that energy used to hate is like you can use that to just better yourself.
I think a lot of that comes from people that don't feel heard, and if they can be mad at Splash Mountain, they're going to have a voice finally, even if it's the wrong traction.
Yeah, me. Like when I found out the information that I did about Disney, I was just like, you know, I'm just not going to watch any movies. Like you know what I'm saying? I'll do it like that. I'm not gonna go on. I'm not going to try to cancel them. Like, it's already there. You know what I mean? It's already there. It's not like the effect's already, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's already done. There's no point. Like, I mean, people can, you know, you can boycott many kinds of ways. You know, you don't have to cancel something. Sometimes.
I agree. Just don't be a part of it. You don't like to write, don't wite it.
Yeah, you know
right?
what I'm saying? And,
it's like, it should be that simple, right?
Because the thing is like, okay, like, let's say, take the, what's it called? The Confederate flag thing, right? Where like, some people like to ride with it around, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They know what it represents, right?
Yeah.
Now, who's to say? This is where it gets tricky. It's like, who's to say who's what? And
real thin ice.
You know
real thin ice over here, bro.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's kind of like that, where it's like.
Well, so here's a good one: Dukes of Hazzard. I don't think that show was inherently racist ever, right? But they had a Confederate flag on one of my favorite cars of all time.
Oh, that
I love the '68 Dodge Charger.
Yeah.
Favorite car of all time. Dream car. If I bought a replica of the General Lee, because that's the most famous Charger next to the Dom's Charger in the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Yeah, that's probably the most famous.
Is that me being racist or a fan of the TV show?
People who know you will know that it's because you're a fan.
Yeah.
But then what's the majority? Strangers
that know you. Strangers
seeing
would
it,
think
or
otherwise.
People knowing me. So like that's
Does it still have the flag on it?
on the roof. If I'm gonna do the full replica, you'd have to. But then if I don't have it on the roof, I'm not gonna try to paint it. I'm not. You just don't try at that point.
I think that the people that know you would know that you're not trying to be like that. But the people that don't, they're just gonna
because that whole show got canceled just because of the flag.
Really, I didn't know that. Wow.
Imagine this, right? Let's say like your kid, right? Let's say that your kid found a flag that had a swastika on it, right? And they and they brought it home. That they didn't know like what it was, and they're just playing with it, right? And you take it from them, right? And you go to throw it out in your trash, right? And you open the garage, and your neighbor sees you with it.
Walking, holding it.
Fuck.
You're throwing it away though. They don't know what just happened, but they see you. They're like, oh shit. He's trying to hide that he's not. Then now there's this whole thing that what I'm saying?
Yeah, dang. And it's you're actually doing the opposite of just get rid of it.
Neighborhood council. Guess who's a racist?
Well, can I say something too real quick? Off topic before we continue with that. Back to what you're saying about, the whole voodoo magic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can't they say that about Mickey wearing a wizard hat though? It's the same
That's
shit.
not voodoo, it's magic.
Okay, so that's okay then, right? Magic's okay, but I don't know.
You can find the argument for everything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so back to what you were saying. I just thought of that when you said that when I was walking back with my drink. I thought of that. I was like, wait a minute.
True story. I had a friend, Justin. He was a black. He's a man now. Black kid, growing up. He drew a swastika, thinking that it was a type of ninja star. He had no idea he drew a swastika, and the teacher was teacher. I remember the teacher had a hard time trying to discipline him for drawing it because he's black, but then he's drawing it like. And he's like, yeah, what is it? Ninja star. And they're like, no, it's a swastika. He's like, what the hell is a swastika? All of us were like, what is that? I think it was like second grade. We're like, what the hell is a swastika?
Fuck, dude.
So now you got to ask your parents, hey, Justin got real bad trouble, detention. What's a swastika? And their parents got real uncomfortable too. Like, well.
Yeah.
About that.
Then you watch World War II documentaries. Like, oh, shit.
That's what it is.
You know what sucks about that is that symbol was stolen. That symbol is actually
it's flipped. It's a peace symbol.
It's a peaceful symbol, but it was stolen. But the thing is like that's how toxic like that ideology is because now that symbol is tainted
forever.
And the thing is that many cultures use that symbol. Now they can't. I mean, not saying that they can't use it, but like they use it with the risk of like you agree with that. You know what I mean? And it sucks because it's like
it's so hated now.
Yeah.
I don't think you even recognize if it was flipped. You would just assume like this motherfucker.
Right. And see, and it's not the kind of symbol that you can like it's just itself, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't flip it upside down and it's different. A cross, you can flip it upside down and you're like, okay, Satan is
different meaning,
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that symbol
a swastika is a swastika.
It's an all-encompassing symbol.
No matter how you look at it. Yeah, it's like no matter what, it's a swastika now. It's like engraved in it now.
And the thing is that, the Adolf, the one that like took that symbol, he got it from like Hindu texts. He got it from like the Rig Veda and all that stuff. Like it wasn't, it
was a country he was invading, right? And he's like, I like that.
I'm not sure about that, but I do know that they had this whole like the whole like Fool Society and all that. The whole like where they're doing like occult magic. Like I don't know if you ever read the story the Coming Race.
Mm-mm.
So it's about this explorer. He like finds this hole in the earth or whatever, and he goes down and there's like the civilization of like beings not down there. They have like this crazy like energy. It's called like real or something like that, and they use that to like create and like destroy. They have like wands and staffs and shit, but they're fair skinned, right? It was like one of those types of books where like it was about around like eugenics and everything, and that story like he not believed that, but he kind of like championed like that kind of story as like, oh, like this is the start of, a new world type of thing. Like not like verbatim, but that like that story was big in that
something
in that era.
Ran with. It was a good movie that brought up racism in a different way. Was Bright with Will Smith.
Oh yeah, it did.
Oh, with the vampires.
It did.
The orcs and the elves. But the elves were the lower class and always like, oh, it's a fucking orc. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it was neat because then then you had black and white people all together hating the orcs, which is a fun way to like, oh shit, like still racism, even though we're together,
just in a different way.
We're finally together in this hating a class of or a species of humanoid.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's right. They did do it that way.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
All right, guys. So is there anything else you guys want to add to that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
What about when the woke culture has a woke person that's doing bad shit and they're refusing to do anything about it because
Should they
feel
get
they're
canceled?
untouchable?
What about it? What
So-
should we do? Or
So, what's an example?
Are you asking
I'll
if
use
they
Will
should get
Smith.
canceled?
Will
Okay.
Smith. Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock,
Yep,
that shit was
and now he's
disgusting.
banned.
it was.
But he's banned from all kinds of stuff. Like that should be an isolated incident. You know, I should be able to watch him in movies still. I like him in movies when he's not just Will Smith and he's an actual character. But then you have Ezra Miller, who's the Flash in the DC universe. He has broken into homes, kidnapped people, beat the shit out of people. But because he identifies
Did
as
you know
they,
that?
them,
I didn't know that. Really?
yeah, he identifies as they, them, non-binary.
What?
He's still working for Warner Brothers.
The Flash.
Allegedly.
Wait, was this the actor that was?
Yeah, Ezra Miller.
Was it proven?
Oh, yeah. He's been arrested like
Wait,
7 times.
This is the guy that was in Batman versus Superman.
Yep.
The skinny, scrawny looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
Him?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Who hasn't knocked this fool out, bro? Like, is he that?
Did you hear the part where I say he kidnapped people?
Oh Lord!
so why do you think he wasn't canceled or he wasn't?
How did he?
Because he's woke. I think he's untouchable right now. Like
Because
they're too afraid to touch that area of people.
Because Will Smith,
You're
kinda
right.
has like a woke property about him too. Like he tried.
That's true. No, that's true. But he didn't get canceled.
I don't
He could have.
I don't think being a
I
cuck
like-
makes you woke.
He didn't get canceled.
No,
right?
no, no. Nah.
What part of the LGBTC is that?
I just meant like he's always like when he speaks, you know, he's trying to enlighten people. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's his wokeness to me. Where
To me, he never came off as like.
I mean, I'm not saying that
Okay.
he is woke. I'm saying that's his. You know, that's the attempt. You know, what I mean that's
That's the idea.
that he could be part of the woke culture because he, you know.
Well, let's switch it to Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp allegedly did these terrible things to Amber Heard, and then was found out that he's now innocent. But they canceled everything on a rumor, right? They canceled him.
At least he's still in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
The very last part. They took out all the other dummies.
No, is he still there? I wrote it last week.
Oh, when I went, they took them all out.
Really?
Maybe they put him back in.
Yeah,
But he
yeah,
lost
he's there.
contracts right away before the court case was over.
Yep.
Yet again, Ezra Miller is still going to be in the Flash movie coming up. Warner Brothers won't fully say they're going to fire him. Why? He should be fired right away,
Maybe
right?
he has connections. Maybe he has deep connections. Maybe. I mean,
I just feel like a lot of the super woke people fighting for that cause, when they do terrible shit, untouchable because they're too afraid to.
What about?
Oh, you fire a trans person? Like like they come into work drunk every day, and they fucking crash a car. You can't fire them. You did it because you're trans. Like, no, not at all.
There's
Not
another.
at all.
I don't know if you guys follow baseball at all, but Trevor Bauer. You know who that is? The pitcher for the Dodgers.
No.
Supposedly, in case you guys don't know who this is. Okay, this gentleman
Is he
pitched
the
for the
tight
Dodgers.
pants guy?
I don't know if he wears tight pants. No, that's Walker Bueller.
Yeah, there's some guy like his pants are fucking painted on.
Yeah, no, that's Walker Bueller, bro.
Okay, all right.
No, this guy Trevor Bauer, man. And this is the fucked up part. He never got convicted in court for it either.
So what?
It was fully consensual.
Oh,
Supposedly he had rough sex with a woman.
Okay.
Right. He's a provider. He's a professional pitcher. He was a pitcher for the Dodgers. Biggest contract in pitching history. And then this happens, bro.
So what's
Gold
going on?
Digger comes along, and she recorded a video
So she's saying he
of
raped
herself
her, or
smiling. Yeah, no, supposedly they engaged in rough sex, and I guess
But what's
he
the claim?
beat her. That supposedly she beat him. He beat her too much, like too hard. But she came back to the house. There was 2 different visits where she came. She claimed that he overdid it, but she still came back. So the judge was like, no, and even a female judge was like, you look dumb. Like, looking at his messages, like, this man is not a threat to you. This is fully consensual.
So he lost everything still.
Still, to this day, guys, he got released by the Dodgers, and no one wants to sign him.
she set him up. But
Blackballed to the motherfucking T, bro. Imagine how heartbreaking that is. You got accused, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dodgers immediately took all his shit off the shelf. He can't buy his jersey. They canceled his bobblehead night. All that shit, bro.
Was this
Took care of everything, right? And then on top of that, he got suspended for an entire year. The rest of that year, for the 2021, when he originally got put on administrative leave, is what they called it. Before it was an official suspension, they put him on administrative leave, meaning he was still getting paid, but he couldn't show up at Dodger Stadium, couldn't play in the games. That's it. And he was gone for the rest of that year. Then he was gone for the following year, the 2022 season, gone. Whole season out. Then they announced in the offseason, okay, now we've come to a verdict. We finally came to a decision. We're going to go ahead and we're going to activate him again. He's no longer suspended. We're going to reduce his suspension, but he's going to get tacked on for the amount of time that he did get suspended for. That's still going to be stuck to his record. And then the MLB is saying that he did breach their domestic violence policy, supposedly. Even though he wasn't convicted in court, MLB said this. Even though the law didn't convict him, we're still going to say that you damaged the policy, so we suspended you for the season, but now you're activated and effective immediately. Now they put the spotlight to the Dodgers. What are you going to do? The Dodgers have to pay him $22 million, I think, still. 22 or 23 million still, guaranteed to him because of the contract. Now, do you want to pay him that and keep him for the year? I think would have been the smarter choice. But if you keep him, bad press, headlines, you know what that is. It's going to look, supposedly it was a blemish that the Dodgers didn't want to deal with. It's going to hurt the reputation if they keep this guy.
Yeah, at that point, you got to.
So they released him.
Like,
they just paid him and they released him.
Like hiring him back and lose viewers and blah, blah. So
that's retarded, though. He would have helped us win games, bro. He's a talented ass pitcher. I didn't give a fuck. He never.
About winning.
He was innocent, though.
That's California, though.
Isn't that sad? That was innocent, bro. He didn't get. And here's why I think the Dodgers are hypocrites. They have another pitcher on their team by the name of Julio Urias, who was convicted and was on camera doing domestic violence with his wife. Mm-hmm. But maybe because he went about it differently. People are arguing, well, maybe because he did apologize publicly and he was convicted for it. The Dodgers kept him, and he's still pitching there to this day. Little hypocritical from you, Dodgers. I'm a Dodger fan, by the way. What do you guys think of that? I think it's unfair to that guy. He's another victim. Why did I bring up Trevor Bauer? Another victim of cancel culture.
I think we're going to come to...
There's other elements too, though.
We're going to come to a time in our lives within the next 5 years where you're going to have some kind of like consensual sex condom recorder.
Yeah.
For everything.
What do you think, bro? Do you think he got fucked over? Poor guy. Yeah. I think he got fucked over, dog. I mean, look.
He was found innocent and they still wanted to,
make an example.
Yeah.
For what? He wasn't convicted, though. That's the fucked up part.
But during... Right.
But to go off what he said, it's like they don't want to deal with the bad press. But it's dumb though because like you were saying, you
gotta pay him anyway. Might as well pitch here. That's how I look at it,
But it's like they're overlooking like the performance of the team. They're going more.
Yeah, they're saying morality and.
But that's the whole. I think like that's the whole country, man. Capitalism, man. It's all about the money. It's like okay, like you had your value and everything, but you know what? Our experts dictate that, or
this would hurt us more than help us.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. But who knows? Like, I mean, honestly, bro, Kobe had that whole scandal, right?
Yeah,
but he was worth that much to them that they didn't want to. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't want to like.
Well, Kobe hit the same thing as like before it started leaning towards like here's all the evidence. So when he was convicted of the R word, everyone fucking hated Kobe. But then when you like, oh, she slept with the whole team. She has a history of doing this. She had a history of sleeping around.
Oh, the girl that he cheated on her with. Okay.
Yeah, she just tried to set him up. You know what I'm saying?
And she did.
I mean, it worked because I'm pretty sure that she got paid off.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's sad, man.
But once it, so a lot of people, fans of his, hated him, and then we started getting the evidence. Like, oh, she's lying. You forgave him, and he changed his number and revamped himself, and but.
Oh, well. What do you guys think of that, though, man? I think that's just another victim of culture. There's one last element that I left out. Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, wasn't a fan of this guy either. And I guess some teammates from the past, other teams didn't like him. Supposedly some Dodger players didn't like him either, that he was always blogging in the locker room.
So this came at a perfect time.
So, yeah, it's basically get rid of the guy. But at the same time, Rob Manfred probably had a thing or two, I'm sure, as far as like him being still free agent to this day now. And still, everybody's like, is he going to land anywhere? He's a free agent being paid to sit at home now. In theory, $23 million from the Dodgers.
He's not hurting.
And no one wants to pick him up. He's a good pitcher, man, because he is. And that's why everybody's like, huh. It's probably because Ron Fred's like, sign him, I dare you. What's to stop the commissioner from threatening teams? They don't know about that, right? I don't like this motherfucker. I don't want to see him on anybody's mounts. What's to stop him from doing that, right? This is the commissioner of baseball, okay? He's the one that put out the harsh-ass year and a half of suspension that he got. That was it. And they even said, man, this is the worst punishment from this
flip side.
Breach of policy that he's ever distributed. And that's because he was always bad mouthing about Rob Manfred, bro.
What if he was
Manfred,
guilty,
fuck this
though,
guy.
right? Would you feel as harsh?
Probably not.
Yeah, so that's,
Probably not. But the fact is that he wasn't, and it was consensual. And then what made me feel the worst about it for
but they
him,
did all the jersey removal during the trial.
during
right?
this, during the.
So that's smart.
Yeah.
So if he's guilty, we did the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Now
So
you
they did
can
that
see-
part smart,
yeah.
but when everything was done and said, and you guys saw that he was innocent, and then they gave you the option to keep him or let him go, keep him for a year, get us to the World Series, win a championship. I guarantee they would have forgot about it during the season.
We'll never know.
You really, you know what I'm saying? You'll never know now, but it's unfortunate, but that is what it is, man. And then, I mean, as far as that goes, I just think that something similar happened to Kaepernick for doing what he did. He also got blackballed. Unfortunately, his career ended. So that's deep. That would be a while to get into that one, but I think that he suffered the fate, unfortunately, very similar to Colin Kaepernick. And then with this girl to post, you guys, one thing last thing, guys, the video came out of the next morning after the alleged beating. Mm-hmm. She looks like nothing happened to her, man, and she's smiling in the camera too. Shows him, then pans back to her, and they're in bed together.
She pulled the
Bruh, what more do you need? Like that's fucking evidence proof right there that she's full of shit.
Damage has been done.
Yeah, that's too late now. That came out now. Of all, it's like, well, fuck, it's too late for that.
It's like someone, like, let's say, like someone lying on you saying that you like touched their kid, right, or some shit, right?
How do you fight it?
How? And then they come out after you've already been like incarcerated, saying, "Oh yeah, I was lying," but the world already believes that. You know what I'm saying? It's already there. The damage has been done.
So it's done. Like you said, there's nothing really you guys can add to that. Anything you want to add to that? Everything we talked about with the cancel culture?
Yeah.
It's fucked up. I would say. That's all I would say.
It's sad, right?
It's just fucked up because
some people they don't deserve to be victims of this.
Yeah,
and some do, right? I mean,
But when it works, though, how do you feel about that?
when it.
That's
Well, it depends.
that's
Okay,
the catch.
where has it worked on someone who actually deserved it? Like actually deserved it.
I'm sure there's cases. I can't even. Think of
Okay,
any.
so what? Like Harvey Weinstein or something.
Kevin Spacey, right? He molested the 14-year-old.
party?
Yeah. So he got canceled. He lost his career as far as a movie star.
But his shit kind of, but like his, what's it called? House of Cards still being played. All that stuff still.
But he's off the show. He's not making money from it anymore. No contracts. No residual check from it.
Right.
So he got punished for it, right? So, did it work then? And are you happy with the outcome? And then when it doesn't work, is it fair to keep being someone punished? So, if you get labeled a pedophile and you do a year of jail and they find out the person was lying and now you're free, you're still going to go to jobs and be like, oh yeah, I did a year in jail, but I was found innocent. Like, for what? Pedophilia, but it wasn't me. Well, I don't even want to I don't even want to touch that. Because then you got to explain, no, I'm not one. Right. So you're forever ruined.
Yeah, you're tainted. And
you're bad goods now.
And your legacy is tarnished, and it's like, good luck getting that back. Like you have to come up with the cure for cancer.
Even then,
to get it back. Or probably even then.
They're so you had the secret the whole time. Like, no, I just found out. Convenient.
So you touch kids and you keep secrets.
Yeah, so I think there's just a way to cover everything, man. All right, guys. So now transitioning over to really being scary. It's kind of sad, honestly. Mass shootings, man. This is the current event that I chose. That's pretty current still enough. It's about the 11 victims in Monterey Park. Did you hear about that? And that supposedly there was 11 victims in a mass shooting that ranged from the people from the age of 57 to 76 years old.
This is the one downside of me not watching the news. I don't get the.
Yeah, it says all 11 victims of the mass shooting at a dance studio in Lunar New Year in Monterey Park, California, were between the ages of 57 and 76, so older senior citizens. Excuse me. The LA County Coroner Medical Examiner's Office and said in a statement, the victims were 5 men and 6 women. Were all publicly identified on Tuesday by the coroner's office. The female victims were named as, I cannot pronounce that, so I don't want to disrespect her. We're going to say Yu, as her last name is Yu. She was 57. Hong Ying Jane, she was 62. Lillian Lee, she was 63. Mimi Nan was 65. Mui Dai Ong was 67. Diana Man Ling Tom was 70. The male victims were identified as Wen Yu, 64. Valentino Marcos Havaro, 68. Mingwell Ma, 72. That's sad, man. These are all really older people, man. Yunong Kao was 72. Qiling Yao, 76. So these are all I'm guessing Chinese or Japanese,
So it was
right?
a senior citizen dance, and then
Yeah, it's so sad.
who was the gunman?
This older gentleman, I guess. I don't know if his name is on here, but apparently,
Was he targeting Asian Americans, or was he?
yeah, I think he was there for a reason. I think his motive was just to take out as many lives as he could. Those certain people in that ballroom in particular. Did he plan this? Was it the day of? 3 people who knew Tran, including his ex-wife, told CNN that he had once been a familiar face at the Star Ballroom Dance Studio. So they must have been back for remorse, where he gave informal dance lessons. Wow, he's an instructor there, bro. The shooter. But it's not clear how often he would visit, and in recent years, if at all, the authorities are still investigating whether he knew any of the victims personally. So I guess it's still, as far as if he took revenge on people he knew, it's still being investigated.
So there must be a deeper...
The scarier part about it, fellas, honestly, the reason why I wanted to talk about this mainly is because this is like the 15th, I think, or 17th. I don't know what the number is. I think it's close to 20 now or 22 mass shootings already in this year alone. In 2023 alone, brother, you guys, it's only been fucking January.
Yeah.
We're about to be February now, right? We're in February. By the time you guys watch this, it'll already be February. So in a month and a week's time, give or take, we're already at 25 mass shootings throughout the country. What do you guys think about that? That's pretty sad, man. Where are we going as a society, bro? This is why I want to make the last topic of this current event, because it's so dark and sad, man.
I think
it's not safe anymore. In broad fucking daylight, too.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, I think we got to, once we get these, individuals like apprehended, you got to find out the reason why people are doing it. And then, I mean, there's got to be, a common reason why it's happening like damn near every day. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean,
that's what it feels like to have that many. I mean, that's like one day a month, right? One day every day of the month, almost.
Like, did you hear about the 6-year-old that shot his teacher?
No. Yeah. Oh, I heard about that too.
She's alive though, right? I think I was reading about that. Yeah, she made it.
But
was there?
It was a student that shot her. He was 6 years old.
So he got a gun from dad, and then
one of them.
Fuck, dude, it's terrible.
But it's like, I don't know. What I think is happening too. Okay, the fact that this stuff gets so much press, some people who want to be recognized for doing something bad, I think that does attract some people. I think,
you did say that too off the record. People say, well, maybe is it just getting more attention now? I mean, that's why
they want to be. Yeah. Now they want to be something, because now they're even streaming it. Did you see the one where they streamed it like at the mosque?
There was the grocery store one too. Yeah, he was live streaming that one too.
Yeah, it's like, bro, live stream, like it's not a game. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, okay,
it's like lives right here, man.
But now it's like it's like on the air forever. It's on the net forever. Like the history, like it's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even the one where in like Texas, where the guy walks in and he starts like shooting in the church with old people, and then he gets taken out. You know what I mean? Like there's all, because each one of these cases, most of them at least, or maybe not most, but a lot of them do get, national attention, you know what I mean?
Big.
And then people are scared. And then, I think there's all that kind of like comes into play when these individuals choose to do that. They're like, okay, like, I'm gonna get people scared. I'm gonna get my legacy, you know what I'm saying? Or like my notoriety.
Yeah. That might be the reason why they do it.
They got probably
fame.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like a twisted version of like, it's weird. It's like some type of, maybe it satisfies some weird type of, or disturbing urge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucked up at the end of the day.
Well, it is. Yeah, they just fully wanted to make it as grotesque as possible.
Yeah.
Not only they're going to hear about it, but they're going to be able to visually watch it. And, big platforms like Facebook, Instagram, you can delete it, but then there's other websites that will play it, have it. It's never going to go away.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah. But I think, mass shootings are terrible, but I think for every mass shooting, there's so many good things that we gloss over. The world's not, I don't think is as bad as the news wants it to be.
I agree.
But there's terrible, god-awful things that do happen. But if it's all you read about and focus on, the world sounds like a god-awful place.
Terrible place. Yeah, but that way it just sounds like it's making, I think it's also a thing to drive fear. Would you guys agree? Like you can't even go down the street anymore. You can't. It's making you feel like you got to be careful where you go now. Nowhere's safe now. Like it can happen to anybody, anywhere, at any time.
Well, the more scared they can keep you, the more you want to ask for answers, and then you're more willing
controlled
to
too.
And controlled, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just, but like that's why like people should get at least have a gun, something
to protect yourself. I agree.
It's like,
but does that sound like a weird answer to mass shootings? Is to get more guns?
I wouldn't say necessarily more guns, but I think more people should be armed so that
you second guess it.
In times where like, okay, like if the cop, because like out here cops take like an hour to show up. You know what I mean?
Feels like that.
Not saying that you want to like play hero, but like let's say like like the shots are going up. Let's say that you can't get out, right? Let's say that you can't hide.
Your walls, your back's against the wall, and you
go
got
down swinging.
it's you or them.
You go down,
I'm gonna take it.
It comes down to you or them
tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Actually, yeah, we do. They talk about that too in the class.
Run, fight,
They
hide.
talk about response times and all that stuff there too, and it's true. You run, you hide, and it's like, but if you can't hide, fighting is part of it. You got to fight or flight, and if you can't fly anymore, you got to fight. Are you going to use that with your hands? What's your best advantage here?
yeah, because the thing is,
You
like,
know?
yeah, I mean, like at least so that you can have a fighting chance. I don't think necessarily the more guns. Like I think people should be trained on how to use them and like how powerful they are, and then it'll never be
Learn the
perfect.
respect of the firearm too.
Yeah, it'll never be perfect because you're always gonna have someone who has a nefarious motive. You know what I mean?
Because even some of the lower numbered mass shootings, some of those stories end up being, the gunman was taken out by a citizen with a gun. So those, like, if he wasn't there, how far could he have gotten as far as numbers of victims? And I don't know.
Like, yeah, it's a fucked up thing. Like one of my classmates died in the VTech shooting. You know?
Okay.
And he was actually one of the ones that like he sacrificed himself.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
So he took it for everybody else.
Yeah, like he
Wow.
What
Went out and saved some lives.
was the Dark Knight shooting, the Colorado?
Oh yeah, that was
2012.
Aurora.
Aurora?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend who
2012.
he was in there too.
He died.
He was trying to get people out, and he was a sacrificed soul. But
They they brought that up too. They said that the best reaction you could have had in that situation was to just play dead. They said just lay down. Think about it. When you're in a theater seating like that, right? If you were just to drop, the likelihood of him walking up, I mean, he might be a sadistic fuck and make sure, like, if your mind isn't like, what do you guys think? There's some sickos out there that probably would do this. He might go up every aisle. Oh, I know some of you are probably playing dead, so let's make sure you're really dead and just pop down the whole aisle.
I don't even think
you know
that
what I'm
goes
saying.
in your
Like,
mind. I think if
you never know, man. It might be that calculated. Oh, I don't want anybody to live to talk about this. The news can spin it however they want, but you're all dead. You know what I'm saying? Walk up each aisle, fire down, each aisle, fire down. You're fucked then. What are you going to do in that situation?
I think that's an overthinker, though. I think in that moment,
If someone were to do that,
psycho,
maybe,
I think
yeah, you're right.
you're looking for runners.
You're probably right.
The police
Yeah,
come in
and they
trying to get out,
and that's the theory. No, of course, and that's actually makes more sense. When you have all that adrenaline pumping, you're just like you said, you're firing at whatever's flying around, right? Whatever's running around, you want to put them down.
Yeah,
I mean, but would you agree that that's a sick fuck if you're going to take the time to go up each row and just fire down each aisle to make sure you got everybody?
Yeah, but then you have to have that mindset of like, I'm going to shoot people in the theater, but I'm also going to make sure that I shoot every dead body because of stupid pretenders. Like, I don't think that ever goes into their.
I certainly hope not. Fortunately, they survived that ordeal, but unfortunately, they had to live through the ordeal in the first place. But anyway, you guys, with that being said, this is probably getting close to our wrap up here, our final thoughts. All right. It was a good episode. I think it was, a success. Even
got
though
sad and dark.
It did. Yeah, sorry guys. I didn't mean to get dark on the last current event. It's just something it's the number itself made me feel like it needed to be addressed just because it's getting out of hand. So those that are watching and listening out there, let's just do our part, guys, to be better. And if you know someone that might be struggling with a mental health breakdown or whatever the case, disgruntled, fired employee, whatever the case, and they might have access to something like that, and you might be the voice of reason for that person. If you know someone like that in your life, talk to them. Well, please do something
cases too,
to be there for that person. Right?
FBI is taking that more serious now too. When you report something like, "Hey,
you have to, man.
Not right. He might have guns." They're taking it more serious now.
Yeah, man, because that's all it takes. Sometimes it can be a disgruntled employee who got fired or feels like they were wrongfully fired. Take a personal vendetta out on somebody, show back up at work locked and loaded, man, with nothing to lose. God forbid, right? It's just, if you guys know someone like that, or you know someone that may be capable,
report it.
Would be money said. Report it. You're not a snitch. You're saving lives at that point, man. And if you know someone that might be capable of something like that, most definitely, But before I get to the whole, subscribe and smash that like button, hit the notification bell, which I don't say enough. Hit the notification bell. Before I reiterate on that, we'll start with our guest. Go ahead, leave them with a final thought. Let them know what's going on in your life, what you got going for you. I mean, I don't think you're really anything in the public view like that. So if you don't have the, hey, bro, that's what I got going on. Check me out.
He's like, follow my OnlyFans, $3.99 a month.
Subscribe to me on OnlyFans or my Patreon. Wink, wink.
I'll just say, thanks for having me again.
Absolutely.
I appreciate Thank you for being here with us, bro. We really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. And I hope everyone finds what they're looking for out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, of course. And what they're looking for in life, what they're trying to figure out for themselves. That's good. What about you, B-Money?
Have a healthy respect for firearms, and if you're questioning getting one, go to a firing range, and maybe you'll change your mind and want to pick one up. And just never stop having a thirst for knowledge. Always look into things. Like the Tar Baby, one article said it's not, one article says it was. So always have a thirst for knowledge and question things and do your research.
Yes, because it's healthy to do so.
Absolutely.
I agree. And it's good to be educated, guys, and it's good to have more than one perspective.
Also, alcohol's okay for you now.
Apparently, according to B-Money's first topic of the episode
Fights
with the
diabetes.
micro doses.
Microdosing.
As long as you microdose it, don't drink out of a big Duff cup like this, and you should be all right. I'm trying to get rid of the rest of it, man. But anyway,
Yes, the soy in beer causes estrogen to rise.
apparently, it'll I'm gonna go ahead and dub that. It'll cause you to grow beer tits.
Gynoclamastia. Bitch tits.
Say it again.
Gynoclamastia. It's bitch tits.
Yes. Dynoclamastia. Is that a thing? Or
Gynoclamastia.
did you just make that up on the spot?
It's real word.
That's a real thing, bro.
It's a medical term.
Did you know what that was?
Yeah.
What the fuck? When I hear
Have
that.
you ever watched Fight Club?
No. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Meatloaf suffered from gynoclamastia
I didn't catch that.
That's why he had breasts.
He says it? Oh, that's why he had. He says that in the.
because of the treatments for his. I think
He's like, Bob had bitch tits.
Yeah,
Right? He said Bob had bitch tits. It was Bob, right? There's something
Yeah.
from that. But
Because,
I didn't catch that part.
Oh, because he
I thought it was just fat.
because he had testicular cancer.
That's
lost
what
his
it was.
Testicles, couldn't have testosterone, had estrogen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I was like, wait,
Gynoclamastia.
meatloaf? What the fuck? I didn't catch that part. I thought it was because he
The
lost
actor.
his nuts. And he couldn't make the, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're
And
struggling.
nicotine,
And
boosts
nicotine.
testosterone.
So nicotine and onions for you listeners and viewers out there. If you struggle with low T, according to Furious here, and he's probably right, double check them, fact check them if you need to. Put more of that in your diet because you'll up your T and you'll be okay. You'll up your testosterone and you'll be all right. You'll be on the right path.
Don't be afraid to get blood work done too.
Yes, and also eat some more garlic because it's good for your heart. It's good for your blood too.
So is alcohol.
So is alcohol. So stick to the hard liquor if you don't want beer tits.
Take a
If you
shot
don't
on
want
me,
beer
guys.
titties, stick to the hard liquor. That's why I have a big ass bottle of Jameson on my refrigerator. That's out of the frame.
All of our fans take a shot.
That's
for
out of the
timeless
frame.
talk.
Yes. I want to take a shot of what?
Take a shot for the timeless talk
I like that.
for your
take,
health.
Take a shot, whether it's right now or someone or after the episode, whatever the case is. Take a shot
During who knows?
during it. Timeless talk. Take a shot for us. We'll take one for you guys. No. All right, guys. Well, with that being said, please comment, subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. This has been Timeless Talk. All right, guys, before we wrap it up real quick, though,